up, everyone? We are here in the Jurassic room, and welcome to another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week, where you, the fans, get to pick what is showcased in each week's episode. And as you can see, once again, I got flooded with awesome requests for this week's episode, so I'm super excited to see what all of you picked for today's video. And just like I always say, if you would like to have a suggestion for next week's video, then make sure you let me know down in the comments below. But with all that being said, let's check out all of your awesome picks for this week. So to start off this week's video, we have a request here from Luca17 Dino for an Amber Collection figure. So I chose my favorite one here, the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus, because this is an incredible figure and probably the best sculpted and best painted from all of the Amber Collection. And it's actually the rarest and most valuable as well. I love the details on this. I love the articulation. Look at the beautiful paint to the frill. I love how it comes with the E-Stock sign. You can also take the frill down and put the frill over its neck so that it's not out, and it's also got some venom that it can spit as well. Then we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park, which is really sweet. But again, this is such an awesome and rare figure and a perfect one to start off this week's episode with. So now the next request here is from Dinosaurs Roll for a Jurassic World Hasbro T-Rex. So I chose this Stomp and Strike Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is a decent figure. Again, none of these Hasbro toys are very great, but this is better than the other version of the T-Rex to me, if I'm being honest. At least it's got some sort of rubber on the neck, which gives it some sort of real feel, and the head kind of looks like a T-Rex, very much unlike the other version, which I don't even know what to say. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another look at our T-Rex, its chomping jaws, and its stomp sound, which is honestly pretty cool. Again, there's nothing very special about this figure, and nor is it rare or valuable, but it is still a part of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World toy history. So with that being said, I'm still happy to have it in the collection. Now, this next request here is from Nick Colborn for the Jurassic Park 3 Hammond Collection Ceratosaurus, and this is such a gorgeous toy, one that I get requested a lot, and for a good reason. It's got an awesome sculpt, an awesome paint job, and sweet articulation since it is Hammond Collection. And looking at the back of the box, we get a good look at this Ceratosaurus, and this is quickly becoming one of the most popular Hammond Collection figures, and I actually don't blame people because it does look really, really nice, and it is a really sweet species from Jurassic Park 3. And of course, I think JP3 is underrated, and I like how they utilized all these different dinosaurs in these cool designs. I wish the Ceratosaurus had gotten a little bit more screen time, but I can't complain. At least it made its way into the franchise and made its way into the Hammond Collection to make an awesome addition for any of our Jurassic collections. So now we've got more Hammond Collection requested from Artsy Arts, and this is the Hammond Collection Carnotaurus from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And like I've said many times in the past, this is my absolute favorite Hammond Collection figure that has been released so far. It's just got an amazing sculpt, paint job, just everything about this figure looks so movie accurate, so it makes me really, really love it. Look at that Carnotaurus looking sweet. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Carnotaurus, some of its different poses, and the glass eyes, which they've been adding to a lot of their figures nowadays. But again, I could go on all day just talking about how incredible this figure is right here. So if this is one that you do not have in your collection, you are really missing out, because this Carnotaurus right here is absolutely top notch. Now, the next request right here is from Rodrigo Juarez and Eric K for the Jurassic World Dominion Roar Strikers Leopluradon. I may have said that wrong, but this is a really awesome marine reptile creature, as y'all can see here. I'm always really, really excited when Mattel does marine reptiles, because they're just really sweet and unique and always make really cool additions to the collection. Now, of course, this does have roaring sounds as well, but you can't really press it down so well because the box is kind of blocking it, but you can see the mouth opens up and everything, which is pretty sweet about this figure. And then when we look at the back of the box, you get another good look at our marine reptile and how you can press and roar on this figure. But again, I really love when Mattel does marine reptiles like this, so I'm always happy to get another awesome one like this to my collection. Now, the next request we have right here is from Jacob D for one of the rarest Jurassic toys of all time. This is the Jurassic Park Series 2 Carnotaurus Demon, and anyone that knows anything about Jurassic collecting knows exactly why this figure is so special. You gotta love that old real feel Kenner skin, and honestly, as derpy as some people think this figure looks, I think it is just so awesome, and I think everyone looks past the derpiness of it due to its rarity, but this one is in pristine condition, as all of you can see. And then when we look at the back of the box, look at that good look. We get our Carnotaurus Demon, and squeeze the dinosaur's neck as shown to open attacking jaws, retrieve skin cover from underbox platform, insert over dino damage wound, remove to reveal wound, retrieve capture gear from underbox pallet, platform, put on capture gear as shown to subdue rampaging dinosaur. But again, guys, this is one of my absolute prized possessions of my whole collection, and one that I'm always super excited to showcase on these videos. Now we have a request here from Jurassic Universe for some more vintage Jurassic Park. We've got the Lost World Jurassic Park Dino Damage Medical Center, and this is one of the most fun and unique sets that they've ever really made. I love this Allosaurus that it comes with, and I love how you can break away all its different pieces to expose all of the different parts of its body. And then of course you've got an entire repair lab to help out your wounded Allosaurus. And then when we look at the back of the box, you get a better look at the Allosaurus and the actual Dino Damage Medical Center that comes with it, which is really, really cool. So you can lay the Allosaurus on the table, take the different parts off of him, even got a blood syringe for like a transfusion to try to keep this Allosaurus alive. This is just a really cool and really unique set, and again, another pretty rare and valuable one that I'm super happy to showcase for all of you. Now we've got another request here from Shannon Cottrill for a Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. So I chose this really unique one, the Jurassic Park 3 Posable Dinosaur Spinosaurus, because look at this awesome squishy skin all over this thing. And this Spinosaurus is very unique compared to all the other ones that we've gotten in Jurassic Park 3. So I thought this one would be pretty fun to showcase. It's got kind of like a bendy wire in different parts of it to help pose it a little bit more, hence the name Posable Dinosaur. And it's got a pretty cool sculpt and a nice little paint job, as all of you can see. But more than anything, I just love the soft feel to it. I always loved dinosaur toys growing up that felt like real skin. And when we look at the back of the box, we get to see not one but two Spinosauruses stalking the jungles of Isla Sorna, which is not really accurate because there was only one in the movie, but it does look pretty cool with that artwork, so I'm not complaining. But again, this is a very unique Spinosaurus toy in my collection, and one that I'm super happy to have. Now we've got another Spinosaurus request from Dark Suns, and this is the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Extreme Chompin' Spinosaurus, and this is the first Spinosaurus toy that Mattel ever introduced us to, and man, they did not disappoint. I absolutely love the sculpt on the Mattel Spinosauruses, and this paint job here is pretty reminiscent of the Jurassic Park 3 version, and look at that extreme chomp. I mean, that is just sweet. I love how the tongue moves around with it too. I think that's a really cool feature. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Spinosaurus and its gigantic bite, which is really, really sweet. Again, I am a big fan of all the different Spinosaurus toys that Mattel has released, and this is the first one, so it definitely has a special place in my collection because of that. And this one was a bit difficult to track down, especially for US collectors, so that makes me very happy to have it here in the collection. Now, more Hammond Collection requested here from Sharky Blocks, and this is the Hammond Collection Irritator from Jurassic Park 3, and this is a really cool hadrosaurid dinosaur. It's got a nice little sculpt and a pretty vibrant paint job, which makes this figure pop out and look really nice. Look at that cool little look at our Irritator. And then on the back of the box, we get another good look at the Irritator, and actually the scene that it's from in Jurassic Park 3, when they're all running from the Velociraptors and they run into the herd of the Hadrosaurs. So again, this is another really unique species, and it's a very vibrant and cool one. And of course, it's Hammond collection, so you know it's top-notch quality and articulation, so that makes this one another awesome piece for my collection. Now, this next request right here is from iChow for the Jurassic World Dominion Massive Action Siasmosaurus, and this is a really interesting species because it almost looks like a smaller Spinosaurus walking on 4 legs, which is just really odd, but I still think it makes it pretty cool, and it's got some pretty good action features like a little bit of biting action, and you can move the tail around to get that head going in different directions so that you can have it in different play features, which is honestly pretty cool. But I like the Spinosaurus looking head and the sail on the back. I think it makes this figure look pretty cool in my opinion. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get a look at the total thrashing action and the chomp action, which is honestly pretty cool. Nothing too crazy and nothing that we haven't seen in other figures, but this is a unique species that was never released in the past, so there's no repaints, no resculpts or anything like that. So this is the only Jurassic figure that we ever got of the species, which does make it pretty cool. So now we've got another request here from Nigeria for the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution Gigantic Trackers Bajadasaurus, and this is a pretty cool recent released figure. I do like some of the features and the sculpt. I love how those spines elongate when the head goes down. I think that looks really sweet. And then of course we got some tail action there as well. And then we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Bajadasaurus. It's evolved for battle and its rampage attack, which is pretty sweet. And also, as a little bit of a bonus, this is the dark spine colored variant, and I also have here the light spine color variant. So I do have both versions in my collection, which is really awesome. I know some people probably aren't variant collectors, but if you are, make sure you get both versions of this really cool creature. So now this next request right here is from Stavarn for the Jurassic World Primal Attack Massive Biter Sarcosuchus. And again, this is a sweet figure. I mean, look at that thing. It's like a giant prehistoric crocodile of some sorts, which is just really cool. And it's got some cool features. You can kind of spin the head and get it chomping, so you can do all kinds of attack features with this awesome toy. This is definitely one of the cooler figures from the entire Primal Attack line. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Sarcosuchus and its thrash and chomp action, which is really sweet. Again, I love it when Mattel does figures that aren't exactly dinosaurs and they're like prehistoric reptiles or marine reptiles or different things like that. I think it gives some definite uniqueness to the different pieces in the collection, and it definitely makes my collection feel a little bit more diversified. So this is just another awesome piece for all of those reasons. So now we have another request here from Long Huang for the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Primal Attack Control and Conquer Carnotaurus Toro. And wow, is this quite the figure, guys. It's got some awesome features, some awesome chomping sounds, which of course the batteries are already starting to go dead, which is not a shock. But look at this. I love the scarring up on top. I love the darker paint job than they gave compared to some of the other Carnotaurus figures. I think it just really makes this figure stand out. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at Carnotaurus Toro and its mega chomping and roaring, which is really sweet. Again, I know they made plenty of Carnotaurus toys in the past, but this one definitely stands out, not just because it is a character of a dinosaur from Camp Cretaceous, but just because it has a really cool sculpt and an awesome paint job to go along with it as well. So now this next request right here is from Rebecca D for the Jurassic World Dino Rivals Dual Attack Concavenator. And again, this is the first Concavenator figure that we got from Mattel, so it does make it a bit special, and it's got 2 action features. One, it's got a tail going action here, and then 2, it's got a mouth chomping action, which is pretty cool as well. And I kind of like the sculpt and paint job. I don't think it looks too shabby on this figure. Then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Concavenator, its tail strike, and its chomp. And of course, like I've said a million times, it's collector card that comes with all of the different Dino Rivals figures, which does make this toy line a bit more unique than others. But this is another awesome toy to showcase today, and one that I'm always happy to have here in the collection. So another request is coming right here from Ricardo for the Hammond Collection Stegosaurus from the Lost World Jurassic Park, and it is actually the baby Stegosaurus, which is absolutely adorable. That's still one of my favorite scenes in the Lost World when Sarah Harding walks up to the baby Stegosaurus to touch it. How adorable was that thing? And this figure is also adorable. It's got a pretty good sculpt, maybe not the best, but it still looks pretty awesome. But I do like the paint job and the articulation, of course. I think it looks very, very nice. And look at that cute little thing looking at you right there. And then of course in the back we see our baby Stegosaurus a little bit closer, and actually a picture of that scene that I was talking about from the Lost World Jurassic Park. But I do like that they incorporated some baby dinosaurs into the Hammond collection, and I hope that this is just the beginning of it and that we get a lot more awesome figures like this. Now we've got another request right here from Amal Sal for the Jurassic World Dominion Roar Strikers Iguanodon, and this is a pretty cool dinosaur. As all of you can see, this is the only Iguanodon figure that Jurassic has ever made, other than a tiny little die-cast version of it from back in the 90s with Kenner, but this is the only actual toy that we've gotten of it, and it's a pretty famous species, so I'm glad that we actually got one. It's got a pretty good sculpt here and a nice little paint job and some pretty cool features. At least the sounds still work on this one. And then looking at the back of the box, you get another good look at our Iguanodon and how you can press down to hear the roar, which is pretty cool. Again, I like that this is another unique species that Mattel has released, and one that hasn't gotten a repaint or a resculpt, so that does give this one a bit of a unique presence in all of our collections. Now we got another request right here from Andy Carmoa, and this is for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom 3 mini action dinos, and there's some different ones to choose from, but I chose this set that comes with a Velociraptor, Stegosaurus, and this clear Indominus Rex, because I really like this clear Indominus Rex, and thought it was the coolest of the packs just because of that. When we look on the back of the box, we get a look at our Stegosaurus, Velociraptor, and our exclusive Indominus Rex, which is pretty cool. But again, like I was saying a minute ago, there are a lot more of these mini 3-packs that they made back when Fallen Kingdom came out, and I do have all of them, but I just wanted to pick one to showcase, and I definitely think that this was the coolest one because it has that camouflaged Indominus Rex right there. Now this next request right here is from my good buddy Jurassic KM, and he wanted an Evil Raiders figure, so why not the Jurassic Park Evil Raiders Skinner with Trank Rifle? This is such a cool and awesome figure. Look how menacing Skinner looks. He looks super, super cool. And then it comes with a hatchling baryonyx and some of his weapons and a weapon case as well, which is really, really cool. Then we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at Skinner. Looks like he's got snap weapons halves together. Figure holds weapon as shown. Remove arm to cover or to reveal dino damage wound. Figure holds knife in either hand. Peg on bottom of weapon fits into hole of carrying case. Take weapon apart to fit into case. And then of course, grown version of this meat-eating baryonyx hatchling was over 30 feet and weighed 1.5 tons, which is super, super sweet. But again, these Evil Raiders figures are a little bit more rare and hard to come by, so this is an awesome one that I have right here in my collection. Now this next request right here is from my manager Mr. Raptor Subs and from Tristan B Plays for this horrendous Jurassic World Hasbro Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think y'all request this just as a joke at this point because it's kind of funny in the videos because you want to see how much I'm gonna roast this T-Rex. But again, look, the action feature doesn't even work correctly and it's brand new in the box. And look at this ugly face and screw holes on the other side. This is a horrendous figure. I mean, come on, Hasbro. I mean, look at this. What were you thinking? This is your T-Rex? This is Rexy? That is a disgrace. And then we look at the back of the box. It doesn't make the T-Rex look much better, but it shows its chomping jaws, which are supposed to make this cooler, but doesn't really do much of that. Again, this is probably the worst figure in my entire collection. This thing is just hideous, but again, like I was saying earlier in the video, it is a part of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World toy history, so for that reason, I must keep it in my collection. Now we've got another Jurassic World Dominion Roar Strikers request here from GG Animations, and this time it is for the Rajasaurus, which is looking pretty cool. I do like the sculpt on this carnivore. I like the spikes on its head, and they're almost like circular like spikes, so they look kind of like scales and spikes at the same time. So I think it does look pretty cool, and of course it's got a cool feature by pressing down. Looks like the sounds are still working on this one, which is pretty awesome. Nothing too crazy about the paint job, but I like the dark colorway. It makes this dinosaur look a little bit more menacing. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Rajasaurus and how you can press down to hear it roar, which again is pretty cool. Nothing too crazy about this figure, but it's another pretty solid addition to the Roar Strikers Dominion line and another pretty solid addition to anyone's Jurassic collection. Now, the next request here is from Jawa Lombard for my top 3 favorite dinosaur species from Mattel, and I'm not going to showcase all 3 just for time's sake of recording, but my number 1 favorite species is the Velociraptor, number 2 would be the Spinosaurus, and number 3 the T-Rex, but because of that, we're going to look at one of my favorite Mattel Velociraptors, and that would be this Jurassic World Primal Attack Battle Damage Velociraptor in the black color, which I think is really sick. It reminds me a lot of one of my favorite raptors from a vintage Jurassic Park 3 toy line, and that would be the Camo Extreme Night Velociraptor. But this raptor's got one of my favorite sculpts that Mattel has done, and again, I just love this dark colorway. And then look at the battle damage, of course, which is always really cool. When we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Velociraptor and how to activate its battle damage, which is nothing too crazy. But again, this is a pretty rare figure and one hard to get into the collection, and it's probably my favorite paint way of any mainline Mattel Velociraptors that they have released, so that makes this one a really awesome addition for today's video. And now even more Hammond Collection requested from Antonio Domingo, and this is the Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus from Jurassic World Dominion. And again, this is another awesome figure, which I'm sure all of you know, and I'm sure a lot of you have it in your collections. I love the actual size of this. I love how the posability is actually possible with the actual claws on the fingers, so you can give it all kinds of slashing attack action and things like that. And of course, it's got a nice sculpt and a pretty good paint job. Look at that cool looking Therizinosaurus on the side. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Therizinosaurus, some different ways that it can pose and how they showcase the glass eyes that they add for a lot of these figures. But this is another very solid addition to the Hammond Collection, and one that I'm happy to have picked up, and I hope that they make more dinosaurs in this size point in the future, because I think they scale up really nice with the other pieces in the Hammond Collection. So now this next request here is from Jurassic Vin for my favorite story pack, and my favorite would be this Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Gyrosphere and Claire, not just because it's the rarest of all the story packs, but just because it's really cool. We get a nice little Claire figure here, and then we get this entire Gyrosphere that she can actually go inside. So if you see right here is only half the Gyrosphere, and the other half is right here, so you can literally stick her in the seats inside, as you can see on the package right here, and get so much awesome playability with this set. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Gyrosphere Claire and how you can fit 2 different figures into this Gyrosphere. So I think that this story pack is the best, not just because it's the most rare, but just because it has the best playability of all of them, and that makes it a really sweet addition for my collection. Now, this next request right here is from Godzilla Fire Burn and Sad Abdoni for the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Dino Escape Slash and Battle Scorpius Rex. And of course, this is just a sweet figure, guys. I think we all knew that. The Scorpius Rex is such an interesting hybrid that was introduced into Camp Cretaceous, and it's honestly one of the ugliest, craziest looking creatures I've ever seen, and this toy does that justice. It does have some cool features, like some slashing action from the arms and some chomping action and awesome sound effects, of course. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at our Scorpius Rex. It's roar and chomp, slashing action, and its tail strike, so you can actually pull its tail back here as well and strike, which is pretty cool. Again, this has got an awesome sculpt, awesome play features, nothing too crazy on the paint job, but nothing that was needed to be too crazy for this species. So that makes this just an awesome toy for any of us to have. Now we have another request right here from Ezekiel Clark for the Jurassic World Dino Trackers Danger Pack Packdakosaurus. And again, like I was saying earlier in the video, I love it anytime Mattel gives us the aquatic species like this. And this Packdakosaurus is just awesome because it's small, yet menacing looking and almost kind of cute looking at the same time. Kind of hard to explain, but I like the sculpt on this one. I like the teeth. I just like the shape of everything. I actually like the paint way, how it fades from a tannish color into a bluish grayish color. I think it makes it look really cool and it makes it kind of pop when you look at it. Then when we look at the back of the box, nothing too crazy to look at. You get our Packdakosaurus here and some of the other figures from this Danger Pack assortment. But again, I really love all the marine reptiles that Mattel has been giving us, and this is one of the coolest of the small ones. So I'm super happy to be able to showcase this for all of you in today's episode. So now we have a request here from the Prehistoric Collector for the oldest item in my collection, and that would really be anything from the Jurassic Park Series 1 line since it launched in 1993. So I thought, why not showcase my Jurassic Park Bush Devil Tracker, brand new in box. This is such an awesome toy with awesome artwork on the front, as you can see, and the original Jurassic Park Jeep is just so iconic, so it's kind of hard to complain. And then looking at the back of the box, we get a good look at our Bush Devil Tracker and an actual action scene with it, which is really cool. So it's got all kinds of cool features like remove windshield for pretend dino damage, slide seat out and adjust dinosaur snare, and then press down on button to fire trank missile so that you can capture that Velociraptor right there, which is really, really sweet. But again, this is just such an iconic toy from the original Jurassic Park toy line, so I was really happy to be able to showcase it in today's video. So now we got another request here from Bimkin the Chicken for the Jurassic World Primal Attack Soundstrike Irritator, and this one is sweet. It looks super different from any other Irritator toys that we got, but I kind of like it when that happens because it makes those different figures unique. Now it's got some cool features, as you can see, and some awesome sound effects. Looks like the sounds are still working on this guy, which is pretty cool, but I like this long snout and I like how the teeth fit together so perfectly like that. I think it makes this Irritator look really cool. And then of course the brown to the blue gives it a nice little contrast, which makes it stand out. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Irritator, its thrashing action and its head strike, which is pretty awesome. The Primal Attack toy line definitely came with a lot of unique species and unique toys, and this Irritator is no exception to that. So it makes it a very awesome addition for my collection. Now this request right here is from Braden Clancy for the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Roarvors Rhinoceratops, even though this is a Pachyrhinosaurus, which is really, really funny. But this is a really cool figure and one of the most hefty ones that we got from the Roarvors line. This is a thick toy and it's got some cool features. Look at that. Sounds are about going dead, but we get the gist of it. But I really like the sculpt on this head. I like these like curling horns. I think they look really, really cool. And I do like the vibrant colors on this figure. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Spinosaurus, or really Pachyrhinosaurus, and how you can press down the button for head ramming action and sound effects, which again is pretty cool. It is really funny that this figure got mislabeled as the wrong dinosaur, but that doesn't take away from this awesome sculpt and the fact that this is an awesome figure to have for your collection. Now this request right here is from Ash Edits for a winter dinosaur, and what could be a better pick than this rare Jurassic Park 3 Camo Extreme Arctic T-Rex? I mean, that's as winter as it gets. Look how sweet this figure is with these awesome colors. And the sounds still work, which is super, super sweet. I mean, look at this crazy paint way. It really does look like this T-Rex belongs in Antarctica or something. It's really, really wild. And then we look at the back of the box, we get another look at our Arctic T-Rex and some of the other Camo Extreme figures from this line, which are all really awesome as well. But it's pretty funny that you would request a winter dinosaur because nothing could be more winter than this awesome Arctic T-Rex right here. So now we have a request here from Zach and Dad Golf for the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution Gigantic Trackers Maposaurus, and this is a pretty awesome toy, and they do want to see both variants, so we will look at that. But as you can see, we got some pretty cool chomping features from this figure, and then it can kind of go, I think there's a button we press somewhere on here. Actually, oh, there it is, where you like evolve it for battle, which is pretty cool. And then we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Maposaurus and its rampage attack and its evolve for battle, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. And then as you can see here, this is the light color variant, whereas this one right here is the dark color variant. So again, if you're a collector of these figures and you want to make sure you have every single one, then you're going to have to make sure you track down 2 of these Maposauruses, since there are 2 different variant color versions. So now we got another request right here from Adovio for this Jurassic World Dino Trackers Wild Roar Orcoraptor, and what a unique species. It's like some sort of giant raptor that's almost feathered, and it's got some cool features too. Look at this. Pretty cool sculpting and interesting paint job on this figure as well. It looks like a fusion of some sort of smaller T-Rex type dinosaur and a raptor, so that makes this one really, really unique. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Orcoraptor and its levels of aggression, as they like to call it. So that would just be these features right here. What a unique and interesting figure, and one that I'm definitely happy to have here in the collection with me. And now the final request of today's video is right here from Jurassic Explorers for the Jurassic World Dino Rivals Battle Damage Roarin' Super Colossal T-Rex. And this thing doesn't even need an introduction. Absolutely massive figure, as all of you can see, with a great sculpt and a lot of different playability features. You can actually pull down on the mouth to get the sounds working, but it seems like sounds aren't working on this one anymore, which is not too shocking, coming from a Mattel toy where the batteries really never last very long. But they did do a couple different versions of the Super Colossal T-Rex, but this is one of my favorite ones. I think it looks great, and it looks really awesome in this cool Dino Rivals packaging as well. So this is a really awesome figure to finish up today's episode with. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week. Again, if you would like to have your pick featured in next week's episode, then make sure you let me know down in the comments below. Want to see more awesome Jurassic content? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any of my content. Also, check me out on Instagram and join my Discord server for so much more Jurassic fun. The links to everything will be in the description below. Check out more awesome Jurassic videos here.